You're on your cruise enjoying the sunshine, beers, beaches and all that the Greek islands have to offer. Next stop is Souda. Wait, where? The port for Hania in Crete apparently. But how do you get from the ship to the town? Is there much to see and do? Or should you book an excursion instead? Sit tight and let us answer any questions you may have. If you don't know us, I'm Rachel, he's Wills, and we are Postcard and a Pint. So to Souda we go, and introduce yourselves, you two.
Morning!
We're in Chania. Well, we're not actually.
We're in Souda.
We're in Souda, which is the port for Hania.
In Crete.
In Crete, and we're going to go and try and find a bus. It's actually the Greek authorities that run these buses, and you buy tickets from just outside the port building. It's €1.50 each way, or €3 return. There was one line for cash only, and one for card. Tickets bought, and then it was on to the bus. We found the process pretty quick, and the buses were constant. It's about a 20-minute drive into Hania. Then you're dropped off and you're free to explore the town. Now, where are you?
We've arrived in Market Square in Chania, and that was about, 15-20 minute bus ride from the terminal. And
we've never been here before.
Never, the one place on this whole cruise we've never been. So we don't know the place. We've got a map. And
just going to wander.
See what happens.
As Will said, you're dropped off in Market Square. We'd picked this free map up as we bought the tickets, but there is a large map to see as soon as you get off the bus. Also, drop a pin in Maps on your smartphone to help you navigate back. Now, this area may look totally different today. We were in Hania in the summer of 2023. They seem to be building a huge new market, which will really dominate the skyline once it's finished, and make finding the bus back easier. We decided to walk towards the old port and then walk the old port wall. Once you enter the narrow winding streets of the old town, it's like stepping back in time. Hania has a Jewish quarter, a Turkish quarter and the Venetian harbour, all contained in the old town. It's quite the eclectic mix. We passed bars and cafes along the way, but didn't stop. After about 5 minutes of walking, we reached the Church of St Nicholas. This beautiful church was built in 1320 and sits in Splatsia Square, or Square 1821 as it's known in English. It does look quite battered by time and earthquakes, but we couldn't resist a look inside. This church started life as a basilica. In Turkish times it was a mosque and also barracks. After the Turks left, it became an Orthodox church dedicated to St Nicholas. You can see so many influences from all of these periods of time. It's incredibly beautiful and very unique. It's free to enter, and if you do want to learn more, they sell a guidebook for a few euros. Whenever I'm visiting a church abroad, I always like to light a candle for my parents, as they were avid travellers too. This one's for you, Mum and Dad. Enjoy Hania in Crete. Now rate your visit. That was one of the most stunning church interiors we've seen ever, not just this trip. We don't know much about anything today. I'm going to find out about it afterwards. We do think, though, this is the Church of St Nicholas. I don't know much about the Greek saint St Nicholas, but as far as Wills is concerned...
It's Santa!
Always one to bring Christmas to a 30-degree day in August is our Wills. Let's move on. Ooh, a beer. That would be nice. Hania is a really pretty and charming place. The walk from the bus to the old port without stopping is about 8 minutes. As you arrive, you'll find these cool buildings. Enlighten us, please, Rach. They're the old Venetian ship sheds, which were used to service the Venetian fleet. They were built between 1526 and 1599, and there used to be 17 buildings like this. This is the only one that remains. Do stick your head in for a look. The sea once came all the way into these sheds. Now it's much more refined, with a lovely promenade with plenty of cafes and cats. We believe you can get a boat across to the lighthouse, but we decided to walk and experience all the sights and sounds along the way. There are lots of boat shops selling shells and sponges, but right now it's hot. We're getting thirsty. What's it time for now, Rach? First pop stop of the day. We're taking it a lot slower today because it's still really, really hot. Loving this place so far. We really are. It's so pretty. Next, it was time to get walking again and tackle the port wall. And if we make it, we'll get a beer on the way back, but pass on the rabbit stew. This old ship shed has been converted into a microbrewery. Cool! You can walk these walls either at sea level or on an upper level, but do note there's no safety rail. We discovered this artist selling his work along the wall. We quite fancied a picture, but it was cash only, so no sale. The Venetians carried out extensive fortification works to defend the island against Ottoman and pirate attacks in the late 16th and early 17th century. This was when the lighthouse was built, and what else, Wills?
St. Nicholas of the Mole Bastion.
It certainly was, a fort to keep those pesky pirates at bay. The walk to get to the lighthouse takes about 15 minutes, so do make sure you have plenty of water with you. But it's incredibly picturesque though. This is one of the oldest lighthouses in the world. It's 21 metres in height from the surface of the sea, and its headlight reaches a distance of 7 nautical miles. And this is where good friends of ours, John and Cara, got engaged. Wills is giving you a wave now, guys. Then it's a 15 to 20 minute walk back along the wall, past the bastion, and I think it's finally time for a beer stop. Tell us about the beer in Hania, Wills.
The beer from Hania is Chama. Cheers.
Or Yamas, as they say in Greece. Perfect. We saw a lot of people taking horse and carriage tours of Hania. If you're not so keen on walking, this could be for you. But then you would miss out on all the cats, and that would never do. Heading along the front towards the Venetian harbour, you will pass the start point for these tours. We didn't do this, but we believe they are around €30. This is the Grand Arsenal. It was the last of the 17 shipyard buildings in the Venetian harbour. It's been impressively restored and today is a centre that hosts events and exhibitions. It seems today's display is movie related. Top tip, it's air conditioned in there. Even if you have no interest in the display, pretend to like it and enjoy the cool air. Now, how are the horse and carriage rides going? Excellent! And now just around this next corner we'll see the Venetian harbour. To walk from the end of the walls around the Venetian harbour takes around 7 minutes, and there are plenty of options to stop for a drink and a bite to eat along the way. Here we are. Give us an update, Rach. What a pretty place. We're now at the Venetian Square, and if you told me this was an Italian fishing port, I'd believe you. The architecture really is Italian. And behind me, the Hassan Mosque, which isn't as Italian. This mosque was built in 1645 after the conquest of Hania by the Ottoman Empire. We're not sure what it's used for today, but it wasn't open. This part of Hania was certainly busier and more touristy. We'd decided to have lunch, but wanted to find a quieter place.
It's a bit busy here.
Well noted, Wills. It was now about midday and the volume of people had increased significantly, but...
How pretty is this?
Yes, it is gorgeous. We enjoyed a bit of traditional bouzouki music. We really enjoyed that. Well done, that man. Then we started to walk around the harbour to find a cafe with less people in it. That looks like us. We enjoyed our time at Dimos. They obviously cater to mainly tourists. We enjoyed some tzatziki and bread. And a beer. Cheers. It was a perfect spot to watch the world go by, and the staff were very friendly. We'd decided to walk to the other side of the Venetian harbour by the fortress. This would mean we'd walk the entire front of the old town. Hania just feels like a really happy place to be. The Firkas Fortress is the best preserved section of the massive fortifications built by the Venetians. You can go in and visit, and we think it's free to do so. Cool, just time for some drums. Then it's time to sit for a while and take in this beautiful place. We slowly started making our way back to the bus, stopping off to buy postcards and, of course, Christmas decorations. We don't know if everyone was now eating, but it did seem a touch quieter. Leaving the water behind us, we started to walk up Chaladon, which seemed to be the main street. Of course, stopping for an ice cream. After all, it was very, very hot. This street seemed to have a lot of posh and designer shops, if you're into your shopping. We just bought some herbs and a beer. There was still plenty to see on this street. Take it away, Wills.
And behind us is the Greek Orthodox Cathedral.
As there were no set times for buses, we had a quick look in here too. To give this place its full title is the Presentation of the Virgin Mary Holy Metropolitan Church. It was built between 1850 and 1860, and although totally different to St Nicholas's Church, just as beautiful. We then handed over to maps on our phone to find the bus and cut through some gorgeous little back streets, selling some cool posters and t-shirts that rang too true. We're still waiting. The buses run the entire time your ship is in port. They do tell you the time of the last one, but we didn't want to risk missing it or not being able to get on. As soon as the bus is full, or overfull in this case, it goes. Then 20 minutes later, you're back in Souda at your ship. We'd really enjoyed our day and felt that we'd had the perfect amount of time to explore and get a good feel for Hania. We've been Postcard and a Pint. Do check out our other videos for more cruise ship content, day trips, city breaks and much, much more. Enjoy your day visiting Hania, and from us to you, cheers.